Last time on Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater. Osk and Vortiga crossed paths and managed to weasel their way into Cranagus Castle City and gambled a week of their lives away before heading into Nevercrooks and reuniting with the reincarnated Morrigan. And now, Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater continues.
Okay, so Alec and Cersei, you wake up. You feel like you slept a bit longer than you probably should have. Maybe you guys were exhausted from fighting those griffins. And it wore you out, because when you wake up, you notice that the hut that you had summoned to sleep in has already vanished. Like, you slept longer than the hut was able to last. You outslept your hut. But you've also seemed to be in a different spot. You've been pulled over underneath the covering of the trees. So you and everyone else from the tent, his body has been pulled over. Well, I say everyone else, but that's not true, because what I really remember that is you and all these griffin bodies are pulled over, -1. So there are 7 griffin bodies on the ground with you. You and Alec. There's a pile of bones. There are some of Osk's belongings and some of Morrigan's belongings. But not all of them. And that's it. You guys have been pulled a little bit closer to the tree line than what you were.
Okay, well then...
Oh, there is a note.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys read Orc?
No, but I can comprehend languages.
We might even assume that Osk wrote it in common. He probably did. He's a smart Orc. So he probably left the note in common. I believe the note said something about, Morgan go crazy, me chase after her, I love you. Something along those lines. Yeah, so it's hard to read, it's an Orc, so it was something like that. He doesn't have great handwriting, so that's as much as you can make out, is that Osk went chasing after Morgan somewhere. Which would explain why half of their belongings are both still here. It does not explain the pile of bones, though.
Okay, well, pile of bones, is there a skull?
Yeah, it's a fully intact skeleton.
Alright, I'm gonna cast Speak with Dead, and I'm gonna talk to whatever the skeleton is. Alright, so I get two questions.
Yep, you have a minute to ask 2 questions, and Morgan can ask them as best she can from the grave.
Alright, well, I guess first off, who are you? Morgan, okay, I'm gonna say, what the fuck happened?
That's your second question.
I tried to kill a dragon.
That's all she says. That's all she says. It can be
So-
cryptic. That's what it said in the description. It can be vague or cryptic. She's dead, so and her soul's inhabiting other space now. So you get that answer.
I made
That's Morgan. She fought a dragon. This is what's left.
Okay. Well, then can we do let's search the belongings in the room and see what they left behind.
All right, you'll have to ask the 2 of them what they left behind, but I know they didn't carry all their belongings with them. Osk left almost everything because he didn't carry much in his backpack. Morgan left almost everything too because you weren't carrying much when you guys were climbing the mountain and you ran right off. So I think you left almost everything behind except the guns you were carrying and your bandolier.
Take their stuff.
So,
Okay,
there's no endless bandolier and those 2 guns you were carrying are gone. But I assume all your rest of your equipment you left behind.
all right.
Imagine I took I assume I took my armor as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever you
you
were
had that
wearing,
on you.
whatever you were. You didn't go naked to fight a dragon, but yeah, whatever you had on with you. We'll assume that stuff was destroyed, but everything else they can pick up and give to whoever they want, whenever they want, I guess.
He took his black disc with him and his money pouch and.
Probably. He probably took that stuff, but he did not take... He was traveling very light. A lot of the stuff he left behind was just, like, stuff that was weighing him down, basically. So that hole wasn't weighing him down. He probably would have taken that. And...
All right. Well, Morgan, do you have anything in your pack that you left behind that I want?
Cure moderate wand.
I don't want it. Bobby can have.
I don't have to use magical device.
No, okay.
Well, you can sell it. Probably.
I gave it to you in the first place.
Then you could definitely sell it. You're like, well, Morgan's dead. I'm selling this wand.
Blood block. I got 3 blood blocks.
I think I gave you those. God damn it.
What's a blood block?
It's basically like stabilized. It stops you from bleeding.
Like a Band-Aid.
Cool.
Alright, well.
The gooey Band-Aid.
I'll take some blood block. Yeah, Bobby.
What about my astrolabe? Bobby might want that.
Are you guys picking up all of his stuff and just separating stuff that you want to keep for yourselves, or are you guys just picking up certain things and leaving the rest on the ground?
We're gonna pick up certain things and leave the rest on the ground.
All right.
Alright, so I'm gonna take the Cure Moderate Wand. It has 15 charges?
Yeah. Blood block. I'm just saying the good shit. And then astrolabe. Bobby would probably want that.
And I assume you're just going to pick up all of Osk's stuff and carry it?
No.
Leave it here?
He left it.
Alright, there you go.
I don't know what he has, man.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm thinking whatever he has.
I mean, there's all those dead griffin bodies here, too, so the area will be pretty well marked if you guys need to find it again, just to find the big pile of dead griffin bodies.
I'm gonna take Oz stuff in exchange for some of that money from those griffin eggs. Let's see if I'm like,
Yeah, I got your stuff. Maybe you could. Yeah, that's.
I'll sell that. I'll sell him the stuff back.
Oh yeah, that's smart. You say, well, that's Morgan's body. Morgan's dead. We don't have the bones of Osk. The fact that the bones got back here, I think. Roll a knowledge arcana, but I think you'd probably know this even without this roll.
All right. It's gonna be a 22.
Yeah, you still sense some sort of necromantic aura around the bones of Morgan, and you would know if she was killed by a dragon. The dragon obviously didn't kill her in this hut, or you'd all be burnt to death.
Yeah.
So somehow the bones ended back up here, which you would assume means Osk brought them back here, which would mean Osk is still alive somewhere. That's all you know.
All right. Well, I can animate dead and bring the skeleton to somewhat life. And
Do we need all of it? Can we just take a skull? Can we just take a skull?
yeah, I guess we can just take a skull. That's fine. I mean, what are you gonna drink out of? Yeah, I'll make it into a nice cup.
Yeah, you can just keep a memento of Morgan. You don't even have to animate it. Just keep some finger bones, something you want for later. You never know.
I mean, I have a feeling that, I know he had these soul shots, and if he didn't have any of his body left, he's probably been made into something that's like a Frankenstein. He's not going to be looking the same. She would like to see her good old, those nice half-elf cheekbones.
I just like to put it next to my bed at night.
All right, Alec, you can hold on to the skull. You want to take the skull?
All right, you keep Morgan's skull. A memento.
Plus one Morgan skull.
Yeah.
All right.
Fill it with candy.
I can animate it every once in a while. We can ask it questions.
Yeah, have a talk. Have someone to talk to. Have a nice lady, another lady around. Whenever you need a girl to talk to gossip.
Okay, well, I have craft jewelry as my craft. I'd like to make a necklace out of her flat-chested titty rib bones.
All right.
I just think it would look really, really nice with my immolation shirt that
I like
I'm going to
it. I
wear
like
in case
it.
people see this dragon.
I like
It's
it.
all nice and
Rib
red,
necklace.
Nice little black contrast, the dragon bones.
I would say it's like a very low-hanging bone necklace. I'll even give you a +1 to AC for wearing it, since it's Morgan's bones.
Hell yeah.
But you can't. That's your next slot now. Nothing else in your next slot besides that.
That's fine. +1.
AC.
Alright,
Of
what
Morgan
do we
bones.
call it, though? What do we want to call it? Morgan titty
Flat-chested,
necklace?
yeah, flat-chested necklace.
Morgan breast...
Breastplate.
breastplate.
Morgan breastless plate.
Yeah. I'm going to put breastless in parentheses, though.
All right, that's fine. Yeah. All right, so you spend a couple hours collecting the bones. You know, Alec gets a head that he kind of plays with, and you make a necklace out of these ribcage bones. You guys are sort of in the middle of the woods. It's mid-afternoon. I guess you guys are trying to figure out what your next move is now that half of your team members are gone and you're still in the middle of this mountain range.
You want to see if Valpor knows where they are?
Yes. We call Falcor!
All right. Moments later, high overhead, it looks like a tiny eagle, you know what I mean? And then it gets closer and closer, and it becomes very apparent it's a giant eagle very soon. And Falcor lands next to you, and says, "Good to see you again."
Falcor, as promised, we brought you this wonderful bounty of dead griffins that we
Oh.
killed the fuck out of.
Oh, the Johnsons. I knew the Johnsons. Oh, but that's nature, I guess. My kids got to eat, so I really do appreciate it. I'll take these bodies back to them. You guys really did do me a solid. What can I do to help you out today?
Well, you see, I've got a little bit of an issue here. A couple of our friends went off and fought the Red Dragon. I'm sure you know the Red Dragon. We told you we were looking for him
Oh,
earlier.
yeah. Big
Right.
red guy.
So, apparently, he burnt the shit out of one of my friends, and he's super dead.
Oh, that'll happen. That'll
Really
happen.
dead.
Yeah.
We have a skull
He must
right
be
here.
hungry.
If you want to check it out, this right, yeah, that's Morgan.
Oh, looks-
That
looks
salty,
legit.
drunk half elf.
The one with all the
so I was
guns.
thinking about going and trying to avenge her death. Because, me being a samsara and whatnot, I'm all about balance and, everything working out in the end. And a good friend of mine getting knocked off like that, I'm just not a big fan. So what I need from you, I need to cover my scent. Because this dragon, he knows what I smell like. I've been there before. He knows. And clearly he likes to eat anything that's made of, animal bits and pieces and humans and whatnot. I'm not exactly human with them, sorry.
Well, he doesn't. It says dragons that size don't eat very often, but when they get hungry, they get very hungry.
So what I need from you is I need some of your blood. I just gave you 8 fucking griffins.
Why don't you just use the griffin blood?
Because a giant freaking eagle is hard to come by. He can get griffin whenever the fuck he wants.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm gonna roll diplomacy.
Yeah, roll it. I don't feel comfortable getting cut open, though.
I'm not gonna cut you open. I just want to smother a little bit of your blood on me.
How are you planning on getting the blood out of me? Is my concern, I guess.
That's 22 on the diplomacy.
How do you plan on getting the blood out of me? Is my concern.
I'm gonna have to give you just a little nick, just a little.
In the meantime, can I ask if you know anything about the dragon backstory, interests, hobbies, weaknesses?
That's one of the oldest dragons on the island, the only one still alive as far as Falcor knows. It stays hidden most of the time. Occasionally, adventurers come and find it, and he either kills them, or some brave adventurers actually manage to... It's an older dragon, so sometimes they actually manage to get the upper hand on him, and he will grant them wishes if they let him live, and he's managed to stay alive this long, doing that so far. She doesn't know a lot about him. He's kind of reclusive. He only comes out when he wants to eat, which is every 50 years or so. He peeks his head out and sees what's up.
All right. Well, here I got another idea. If you don't want to give me your blood, would you be willing to carry? Let me have one of these griffin bodies. I need to use. You can take the other 7. I just need one.
6. There's only 7 here now.
I need one of them. So you can take 6 for all your little eatlets.
Okay.
All right. And I was wondering if you would be so kind as to maybe just drop off this griffin right next to the dragon. But I gotta do something.
Airmail.
I gotta do something first.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna talk to Alec. And what languages do you speak? Does it?
Common, Dwarven, and Terran.
Okay. All right. Well, in common, I'm gonna be like, so Alec, this is what I want to do. I'm an anatomist. That's part of my backstory. It gives me bonuses on crits and whatnot. But anyway, so I know how to work with bodies and whatnot.
Go on.
I want to go. I'm gonna go. Fucking Star Wars. Tom. Slice this motherfucker open. Crawl inside of his body.
I like it. I like where you're
So
going.
I'm talking to Alec. Alec, I'm gonna hop inside of this here body. All right. We're gonna get my eagle friend Falco over here to drop me off, and see if the dragon's hungry. And I'm gonna be hanging out inside of this little guy's body.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. Yeah. So that's the plan. I'm gonna hop inside the body and.
All right. Falcor says, "Aren't you afraid you're just gonna get eaten?"
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, I mean, if I just drop you down there like I'm dropping off a food delivery, and you're inside the food delivery.
Sneak up on this guy. He's fucking huge.
I mean, I don't understand why you're trying to sneak up on him anyway. It seems pretty foolhardy.
All right, this guy's.
I mean,
he's
but look at what happened to your friend, though. It doesn't seem very wise.
He's messing with your food chain. All right, now
He does eat quite a bit, and that's why it's been hard to find food lately. He has been feeding.
So I'm doing you another solid here. I'm providing for you and your family.
I mean, I'll drop you off inside of this carcass. I just don't think it's a great. I just think you might get eaten.
All right. Well, let's do it. Hey, Alec, you just want to follow along and maybe stand back and keep an eye on things.
Yeah.
If things go awry, then you can tell my tale.
Falcor says, "I saw your friend went the other way. I mean, I think your friend saw this one die and just left. Why don't you just do like he did and
Talking
walk
like
away?"
The centipede guy?
Yeah, he looked kind of tasty, but I decided to leave him alone because I remembered he was with you, and he went the other direction.
Yeah. Hey, did he run off with some eggs? Because I was gonna make an omelet.
I didn't see any eggs. Maybe he had a backpack. It was pretty full of something.
Right. Well, I still want to go. I like, I'm Urgathoa. We like the undead stuff. I'm gonna crawl up inside of this carcass.
All right, just be careful.
All right. So, Falco, if you just drop me off right there next to the hole and be like, "Hey, Klangor, I brought you a present," and just leave it right there.
So I'll try anything once. But after this, we're even. I can't believe I'm going to fly this close to the dragons. They might eat me, too.
Well, you just got to swoop down there real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to make it as fast as possible. Don't worry.
You swoop down and you just get the fuck out of there. I don't want to leave your little eaglets without a father.
I appreciate it. All right, well, you do whatever you have to do. Roll me a, was that a stealth check? Or what would it be to hide inside this body? Some kind of disguise check?
Oh, dude, I've got...
I assume you can hide yourself inside of a dead carcass pretty well. You are Urgathoan.
As an anatomist, I would think I would be able to.
Yeah. I'm sure this isn't the first time you put on something else's skin.
Yeah.
You creepy fucker, you.
And I've also got those sleeves that let me kind of it turns me into whatever kind of clothing I want.
Yeah?
So I'm just going to go pink.
Okay. You're going to be like flesh colored.
I want to go like innards.
Pink
Yeah,
skin,
so
like pink spandex. Got it.
Yeah. All right.
Well spandexed out.
Yeah.
Okay. You do that, you climb inside of the thing. The Falcor picks you up, carries you towards the great pit, drops you from a probably very unsafe height because she doesn't want to swoop down any lower. And
I'm going to cast Levitate or Featherfall.
Alright, so you fall a bit slow. That's probably smart because you realize that you kept falling at that speed. You'd probably be very hurt when you fell. So the Featherfall calls you to fall a little bit slighter. You hear her calling, which seems to stir rumblings from underneath the ground. So as you feather fall, you fall right at the edge of the pit. How close are you following there, Alec? I mean, you walk pretty slow, and that bird flies pretty fast. So you're probably going to have a lot of trouble keeping up, and you're probably not going to want to get very close.
Yeah, I just want to be on. I want to be able to see it, but that's about as far back as I
Roll me a knowledge nature.
So 19.
Yeah, see, you grew up around here. Like I said, you did stack rocks in this pit when you were a kid. And, during those times, the dragon was a little more... It wasn't as round as much. It was when the dragons were more wild. So he wasn't at the pit that often. But you always heard from your from the Oreads around you, which mostly have died off now, that you wanted to stay as far away from the dragon as possible. They could sense your presence. And you would always try to stay at least 400 feet away from a dragon if you wanted to feel safe. So, I don't know if you can see 400 feet or how well you can see 400 feet, but you'd want to be that far away. I mean, it's a big dragon, so you could probably see it. I don't know how much of what's going on you could see.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that. Me and Caesar.
Alright, so you guys try to get about 400 feet away. You'll get there a little bit late, so Cersei will get there first, and you'll show up, a little bit through what's happening live here. So we'll get into that. So you drop down next to the pit, you hear some rumbling. Some smoke comes billowing up out of the pit. Its mouth opens, and it's like a dump truck scooping up the earth beside you, opening and about to devour the body of the griffin you're inside of.
I'm playing dead. I'm inside of a dead griffin.
Alright, so he chomps you down.
Alright, mythic point.
Alright.
Transforming Canopic Jar into giant purple worm, burrowing into his brain.
Alright, you transform into a giant purple worm.
10 minutes. I have 10 minutes.
You have 10 minutes. Giant purple worms are smaller than this dragon, though, so he can still fit you in his mouth fine. So what I'll let you do... He's Colossal's bigger than Gargantuan.
Alright.
There's a handy size chart on the Facebook that has the purple worm right next to the dragon. Yeah, purple worm is one size smaller than the dragon, so it can still fit in its mouth. Not the whole thing, of course, but you're now being sideways
I'm in
bit.
his throat.
So you're saying you're that way in?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I use my mythic point. I go into I go worm and I start
burrowing
my burrow
up
skill, which he has.
All right, you're gonna burrow up.
His fucking skull.
All right, roll me an attack for that though. You still have to beat AC to do that. Still an attack.
Let's see here then.
But I'll let you use the purple worms stuff if you want.
Yeah. I don't know what the purple worms.
Hold up for you real quick. It's probably better than yours. It's BAB. Is it plus 16?
Plus 16.
Yep.
All right. I noticed that you let this is outside metagaming. You let Patrick, stack mythic points.
You can.
We let me stack hero points.
I don't like to, because that's a little bit weird. The mythic points, because those are like you can add a D6, so that's different. Where hero points, are you gonna double rewind time or double add an 8 to something? Are you gonna overkill something? I'll allow it.
Yeah. That's what I want to do.
All right, you're gonna overkill.
I'm gonna use my remaining 4 mythic points, so
All right.
I search 4 times.
All right.
That's all 5 of my mythic points. So that's going to be 4d6 on top of that.
All right, to try and crunch into this thing's brain.
And then will you let me use any? How many hero points can I use?
How many do you have?
5.
You can use all 5 if you want.
I'm going to use all 5, so that's going to be plus
40.
8, 16,
40.
24, 36.
40.
What?
40.
40. 44.
40.
40. All right, yeah, so plus 40. And then with my 46 on top of that, nothing.
Did you beat the AC of the dragon?
Yeah, that's going to be 10. That's another 15, so that's plus 55, plus 16. 71, plus my BAB.
All right. So you use a lot of the magical power stored within yourself.
And I also want to use an anti-hero point on the dragon.
All right, he'll take a minus. I'm still going to make it take some bite damage because it did bite you before all this happened, but you're going to be okay because I don't make it... Because you're the worm, so it's not going to do as much damage to you. I'll let you take some negation here.
Hey, my monkey popped out from the ceiling.
Poking me eye while he's getting his brain burned out. Step on his head. That's all.
All right. So you're gonna take 30 damage there, Cersei.
All right.
But this is gonna work. You are gonna be able to burrow into its brain. Roll your damage.
All right. Let's see. What's he do? I don't know his damage. It's
Oh yeah, I have that pulled up still. Hold on. You can bite. Bite's part of what you're doing. So it's a 48 plus 12.
Oh, that's a...
But, yeah, 48 plus 12.
all right.
19 and 20, Chris.
All right. Well, let me roll. I still haven't even rolled my attack.
Yeah, you're right. Your natural attack. Yeah.
No. All right. That's still 10 on top of what my all that.
That's super
extra
high.
stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So it was 4 what?
48 plus 12.
48 plus.
All brain damage.
All brain damage. 7. 12. 19. 23. 35 brain damage.
All right. He falls over.
I'm gonna keep chomping.
All right, you keep chomping his brain. He screams in pain. His body begins to catch on fire. His skin is like molten rock. You feel hot inside, but you have a feeling you've killed him at this point. You should probably try to escape.
All right, I'm gonna hop out of his mouth, Burrow style, and I'm gonna say, "Alec, fire a couple shots at this motherfucker." Which I'm gonna do. Finish him.
All right, Galet's gonna run in from 400 feet away. It's gonna take him a couple seconds to get there. When he does get there, he can lob off a couple shots. But the arrows will catch fire as soon as they get anywhere near this thing. It's like totally in flames right now, and like melting.
Is there any iron ore around? He's in a cave. Could I grab something and turn it into an iron arrow to shoot?
You're kind of near the forest. You're in the pit. You're not close enough to the pit to be able to grab anything. Maybe if you were underground, you could.
I've got I guess I could try to turn the steel from my flint and steel into an arrow.
Okay. It's not very big.
Okay. How about my iron pot?
Okay. You want to turn your iron pot into an iron arrow?
And he's strong as shit. He's got an insane amount of strength, so he could probably fire that thing pretty well.
All right. Launch it. Are you aiming anything in particular, or just trying to hit the dragon?
Yeah, just trying to hit the dragon. I'm going to use animal focus. It's a swift action of the tiger. It should give 2 to Dex. That's 12 plus context, so it'd be 4. So 16.
Alright, that's going to be a miss. You launch it, it falls. It's a little heavier than a normal arrow, and it kind of falls short.
Well, get closer.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up, I guess, and try to hit it with my quarterstaff.
Alright.
Slightly.
I need you to make a fortitude save.
Extra one.
Oh.
Yeah. A, it's very hot, and being this close to this melting hot dragon is kind of scary. You're going to be shaken for 5d6 rounds.
I'm made out of rock.
Yeah, that's probably why you don't get any closer, because you see like that he looks like he's made out of rock and he's melting, so you feel like he's hot enough to melt rock.
Alright.
Matter of fact, Cersei probably needs to get farther away also, now that she's been...
Yeah, well,
Now that
I'm
you've
gonna-
now that you're bleeding and you've leapt out of this mouth, and you've kind of, like I said, you have been bitten, so those marks are real on you.
I'm gonna hop out dimensional door and grab him. We're gonna hop away 500 feet or whatever
Alright.
the maximum distance.
Alright, you get as far away as you can, you watch this thing burn. It totally melts down into a big pool of, like, liquid rock.
Cersei is capping.
Yeah. And so now the Great Pit is this full of magma. Where the dragon once was, it's now just a pit full of magma. You guys got 150,000 experience each.
Jesus Christ!
That just happened.
Kill a baby for that.
I need a new iron pot.
I've got an iron pot. Don't worry.
That was probably the
alright.
fastest dragon kill I've ever witnessed in my life. Way to blow! You blew all those hero points, all those mythic points. I had to let it. You just did everything right. So
Yep. I've been planning this
it's
for
D&D.
days.
I can't argue it whenever you do it right. You know.
Just like, no,
I did not know the dragon was gonna die today.
Yeah, you're like, well, he's gonna eat you, and I'm like,
I was like, that's not a good
"Thank
idea.
you, Palmer." Yeah, that's what I wanted to
All
happen.
right.
Alright,
Well,
so
good
there's
plan.
he's magma, there's no way I can harvest his organs, put that in my canopic jar. I
No,
can't-
there's nothing left. Like, he seems to have been made of rock and molten. You know, he's turned into just molten rock now.
There's nothing we can get from him? Like,
does he have a stash? Hoard?
yeah, does he have a horde?
If you did, it was in this pit, and it's all. But you also would know whatever you would have in this pit was probably just left over from people he ate.
Yeah.
You would know that you guys found the Red Dragon Cave where his hoard of treasure was, which is where you found Cooter. That was his cave. So you've already found his treasure. The only thing that would be in this hole would have been armor and stuff like that from dead challengers, and that's probably all melted now anyway in this lava. So
I don't know Cooter's specs. Do you think she's hungry? Like, would she like some magma? Would that be a thing that she'd be into? Like,
roll me a percentage chance.
Alright.
Where is she? Is she in your backpack or something, or
she's in my iron pot.
okay? Which is where?
In my backpack.
Okay, that's a big backpack.
27.
She seems to have been burned pretty badly in being near to these flames and in the hot water in the pot. So she has some scale damage.
Alright, well, I'm gonna...
And she's
pour her-
crying.
I'll feed her some blood, and so that'll heal her up a little bit, and I'll cast Stabilize or whatever, I've got a few spells I could probably use on her.
So now you're in the middle of the woods next to a molten fire pit with a crying baby.
Yep, crying baby dragon. Alright. Well, Alec, that was interesting.
Nailed it.
Alright, I guess we're gonna hang out on the outskirts of, far distance, far enough away. I'm gonna summon up a hut. I'm pretty hurt here. I'm gonna need to, regain some spells and some skills and whatnot, and get some hit points back.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm
Maybe get some cool water for the baby.
Yeah, definitely. We'll find you use the survival skill. You find us a nice cool brook, a spring. Get some spring water for Kuda.
I know a place.
Yeah, you know a place. You're from this area, so you'd very easily be able to find the creek that's around here. This is Alex's home woods area. So
Yeah, I'm gonna set up the cabin, and I'll call in Falcor, and I'll be I'm gonna tell him about it. I'll be like, "Come on, Falcor!
yeah, whoa, what happened here?
I killed the fuck out of this dragon.
Wow.
Now your family's safe, and you get all the food you want."
Well, finally, this island's free of dragons. Wow, you finally did it. The last one. Way to go, man. You killed the last dragon.
Totally did.
Wow.
It's almost a mythic accomplishment.
I'm really impressed.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed.
All right.
Go on.
I'm a bird. I'm a bird. I don't know what else to say, but it's impressive.
All right. Well, then we're gonna take I'm gonna take a nap in the hut. If you want to walk around and do some shit, you're more than welcome.
All right. So while you rest in the hut, Urgathoa comes to you in a dream. And says,
oh, the Pallid Princess.
Yeah.
Well, you love.
She says, I see you killed a dragon.
Fucking right.
She says, we'll all be to undeath. We're glad he's joined us here on the other side. He's such fun at parties. You did a good.
I thought Crango would be a great addition to the night watch.
You did a good job. I'm sure you know. Just by defeating a dragon, you'll become much more powerful. I'm sure you already feel the power of defeating a dragon coursing through your veins. I'm sure you and the hunter with you, just being in the presence of such a great creature when it died, I'm sure had benefits for both of you already. Says, but even better for you, because you have touched one of the crystals and are able to absorb some of the dragon's power in a very special way. Even more than Alec has. You will gain a tier in Mythic Ascension.
Oh yay! Mythic 2.
Says, and now you are better equipped to serve me, your god.
I'll say, praise the Pallid Princess, and I'll give her.
She says, do not be led astray, for there are many who have causes of their own, who will seek to use you, because you are now in a very unique position. Which I am not privy to say much more than this, but people will want to use you for the power that you have, and it's very important that you don't let them.
I'll say, O Sovereign of Sights, please point me in a direction, give me your guidance. What would you have me do?
Says, well, it's probably best you stay here in East Linya and travel. It says, I recommend you meet some of the people here in East Linya. It says, visit every city you can in East Linya, and bring death and undeath to all of them.
Fucking right. I'm gonna go show those humans who hated those dragons what the fuck is up.
Probably just ruined an entire town's economy because there are no more dragons left. What, are we going into the Iraq theory? Like, they took out Saddam and now there's going to be like a vacuum of destruction.
Those dragon hunters were shit anyway,
Yeah.
obviously. Like,
Brian,
yes.
They haven't killed one dragon in 50 years.
yeah, I know.
Ronnie's going to go out of
Yes.
Yeah, Ronnie Dragon.
Yeah, so you guys can head back. You guys can head back towards the cities, which you can either go back to the dock, which you know there's no boat now. The boat left, or you can head east of here. You would know, Alec, that there was what looked like a navy town that you passed on your way to Erebane, just outside the mountains here, and the area where your forest burnt down, where they're building that new outlet store, is this direction. It's to the east.
Well, my first order of business is, I got out of there with skin on my teeth. I'm going to go have a drink, because that's what,
What you
my
would
guys
do.
want me to do.
That's true.
Yeah, go get it. I'm going to put on my cape of human guys and go grab a drink.
What, are we going back to Erebane?
No, not going to Everett, right?
Where are you
We're
gonna
go to...
Where are you gonna get a drink at? You're in the middle of the woods right now, so.
Yeah, what's the closest place?
Well-
I got a map. I got a fucking map.
Yeah.
Price on
The closest place would be that Navy City, or that new outlet that just got built on the outskirts of the forest is a tavern / outlet. So there might be you can get a drink there, but it is owned by Downey Dragon Slayer, and it is a tavern built on top of your former village.
Those assholes establishment?
Oh, they fucked you.
Yeah. They built a bar. They built a bar on top of his old town. Basically, they tore down his forest and built a bar / retail outlet.
I'm all about balance here. If you want to go fuck that place up, let's go burn it to the fucking ground.
It's going to take me like an hour and a half to do leveling. I don't think I can do anything like...
Yeah, I think
Do you guys want to start traveling that direction, and I'll swap over to some other players and give you time to figure your stuff out? All right, so you guys are gonna head east through the mountains.
Yes.
I'll let you guys take a 20 to travel safely and try to avoid conflict and stuff. You're all healed up and stuff, and Alec knows his way through the mountains, so it shouldn't be any trouble.
And I got a map.
And you have a map, and Alec grew up here, so Alec knows the ways and he knows what to avoid. So I'll say with his help, roll me a survival check just to be sure, though, Alec. But I'm sure you got it.
Plus your plus 4 plus your
plus I get half my luck.
What's your wisdom? Oh yeah, so +5, +2, so +7, 17?
Yeah, that's enough. So it takes him a while, but he leads you very safely east, and that you're able to avoid all pitfalls and all other wildlife that, other than stuff that maybe he could just small wildlife he could hunt. But he's able to lead you even past a couple small groups of ogres undetected. You're pretty impressed by Alec's survival skills as he leads you eastward out of the mountains, and you guys are approaching the Donny Dragon Slayer's the new retail outlet, and that's where we'll leave you. And I'll go to the group that is in Nevercrooks.
Mortiga.
Oh, man.
Vortiga, Osk, Morrigan, and now, Vortiga, you've just shown up and been reunited with the Glasswork Morrigan. Osk feels exhausted, needs to lay down, apparently, so they point him over to the couch where Morrigan was waiting, and Osk lays down the couch and rests for a minute while the rest of you are talking. The receptionist waves a note at you and says, "Oh, Vortiga."
Okay.
He says, Jegga wants to meet with you before you leave.
You said Jagger?
Jegger?
Oh yeah, Jagger. Okay. Yeah, sure. All right. Well, I want to find the deck of many things, but I do want to meet Joey right now. Out of game speaking.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
think,
you're inside of your office. I mean, to go find the kind of things, you have to, leave your office and go there and then, come back to work. You're probably better off while you're at work just taking care of this stuff all while you're here than all leaving together.
All right, then I'll go see Jagger.
All right, you go see Jagger, your boss. He asks how you're doing, how the mission went. He tries to get a full briefing from you. He asks how your battle with the spirit went. I need you to roll a will contest between the two, Vortiga and Ramses, to answer that question.
I fucking love this shit. This is so good.
All right. Okay, for Vortiga's will,
He said 2 different seats.
So that's rule over there.
let's say 14 for Vortiga, and for Ramses, that is going to be a 21.
All right, so Ramses has control, but Ramses can lie. So whenever the Jagger asks, what happened with the spirit, did you take care of the spirit, how does Ramses answer?
Ramses is going to say,
Even a half-truth, the spirit won't be any trouble for us anymore.
yeah, the spirit, I'm taking care of it. The matter's been handled.
All right, so he marks that down. He's like, very, very good. He says, here's 1,000 gold bonus for taking care of that spirit. He says, and well, we still have to find that researcher. He says, we need you to go back and finish the rest of that job. There's still plenty of stuff for you to smash up. You can take your friends with you. He says, you might want to leave that orc downstairs here. He looks pretty tired. Leave him here, and we'll brief him after you leave if you want. But do take Morgan. You saw Morgan, right? Take Morgan with you. She'll follow anyone's orders from the Westport military, so you're probably going to need either clearance, and says we can get that for you if you need to give Morgan orders, or it can go to one of the other Westport military officials. She shouldn't be any trouble for you guys to handle now.
Okay.
We also, like I said, need you to find that researcher. Capture her and bring her here. The Kabbalists outside of town are trying to open a portal to hell. Now, we need someone pure of heart. We need someone very good. So if you can either bring back that researcher or anyone really, a really good paladin. They're really on my ass about it. So if you can bring back someone of, lawful good alignment, you'd be doing me a huge favor. And I'm sure you can find someone like that in Southport.
So anyone lawful.
Preferably the researcher. She's the biggest threat we have there, but
Yeah.
anyone that's lawful good will help us open the portal.
Out of game, like virgin sacrifice type shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Also, I'd like you to meet someone. And
Sure.
Jagger presses a buzzer on his desk and makes an obnoxious buzzing noise. And his door opens, and in walks Viva Caligula. Male, a large male half-elf, barges in the door, Kramer style, is face to face with you, Vortiga, and Jagger says, "This is our new intern, Viva. Viva hasn't gone full HBI yet, but we thought you, Vortiga, a charming hobgoblin lady like yourself, could probably teach this half-elf some things on what we're all about. Maybe convince him we're a good organization to join."
This place didn't totally completely suck, so that's why.
Yeah. So
Pretty fucking badass.
we've agreed to send him along with you on this mission. You could he's a barbarian, so I'm sure he can help you smash up things in Southport. I know you've had some trouble there. This is your second time back here without completing this mission. We're running kind of short on time here, so we're giving you this extra help. We've got Morgan on your side. Anyone else you can gather is fine, but you really don't come back here without completing the mission again. That's all. There will be repercussions.
I understand.
Were you able to get rid of any contracts?
Yes. No.
No, not this time, I don't think.
No, not this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I couldn't get some.
He shakes his head and he says, "Give me that 1,000 gold back."
Ah, shit.
Damn, dude, fucked up.
Alright, here you go.
He says, "What do we even pay you for?" He says, "Get out of here. You got work to do." He says, "The teleportation panel's all queued up and ready for you guys. We've had it enlarged so it can fit 4 people on it now. So as soon as you have 4 people that are ready to go back to Westport, let me know."
Okay, I will. Well, since I have you now, what would you like to go by, Viva or Caligula?
Tell us something about yourself, Viva. Since we're just meeting Viva, describe yourself to us. Tell us what's going on with you. Give Vortiga the whole, we just met at work today.
Are you badass enough to be with the ass kickers
I am not
United?
badass enough to be with you guys. Listen here. Me and Goron fuck shit up on the regs, alright? I don't know what you scrubs are doing, but I've got to take your game up at least 5 fucking
Alright, roll me a knowledge religion there, Vortiga.
Alright. I got a 4.
Alright, you're not familiar with Gorham, but you might want to ask, or maybe you don't. I don't know. That's up to how curious you are.
I think Vortiga would be curious. Ramses, who's secretly controlling, would definitely be curious.
Alright, so yeah, that is who's in control now. I forgot. So Ramses is in control, so Ramses could ask this new
Goron.
recruit.
Who is this Goron?
Goron is the chaotic god of war and combat. He doesn't give a shit who I'm fighting, for what reason we're fighting, as long as we're fucking fighting. And that's all. I'm all about that shit. So, you need something broken, you need some town pillage, maybe some people raped, we got you on lockdown. You heard?
Alright, you guys are having a nice little conversation walking down the hall, and an alarm goes off.
Okay, perception check.
Yeah, perception check.
Well, I'm rolling with Ramses now, right?
Yeah.
I got 14.
Okay, so that's 7.
There's an obnoxious horn and a bunch of red flashing lights, and everyone seems kind of panicked.
What the fuck is going on?
Did I hear anything? Or
How was your perception?
I didn't hear anything. He would have heard something.
Yeah, I got
'cause he's
14.
Yeah, you would hear something, but you wouldn't be able to make much out of it from what you would hear. I would say Viva hears something about... You hear something, but like I said, it's very confusing, the things that you hear. I can't say a whole lot without giving away a whole lot, and you wouldn't understand any of it.
I'll grab Vortiga and be like, dude, I heard some shit over here, let's go find out.
Say something weird is going on.
Yeah,
Definitely something
I
weird
wanna
is
go
going on.
I want to go towards the way people are running from.
Let's investigate the north.
Yeah, let's do
They don't seem to be
one.
running to or from anywhere. They just seem to have a lot of hustle and bustle going on. It's hard to say. For Ramses wouldn't really know where to go, as while you have sort of control over Vortiga and you have some access to Vortiga's memories and stuff. You have some access to this area. Roll me. What would that be?
It'd be like a will save or something.
Maybe do like a will contest against Vortiga to try to understand what's going on. Just do another verses with each other and see if you can delve deeper into her mind and figure out what's going on.
Well, I will roll Vortiga's first. That is going to be an 8 plus 3, so that's an 11.
Yeah, Ramses is going to get what he wants.
Oh, it's an 11.
So who won?
It's a tie.
A tie. All right, so Vortiga is able to resist. Ramses feels like there is something going on that he should know about. And it feels like whatever other presence is, Vortiga's presence in the mind is blocking that information still, like fighting very hard to resist giving up whatever information is out there right now.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, can I see the direction people are running from?
Like I said, they're not running to or from anywhere. They're just seem to be moving at a faster pace, like something's like a busy, like something like an alarm at work. Not so much that they're like fleeing the building or like running to or from a room. It's like something happened and everyone's like working really fast. Like they went DEFCON 5 or some shit. Like
Fucking DEFCON 5.
Well, I would go back to my office cubicle and see if there's anything I can find there.
all right. So we'll say that memory is not hidden from you. You would know how to get to Vortiga's cubicle, and you're still controlling the body. And Vortiga's kind of aware, like kind of in a haze of what's going on, like not kind of confused why she's doing these things. Like she's having conflicting emotions. She doesn't know there's a spirit inside of her, so she doesn't know, what's going on. She's just kind of confused and is rooting around her own office. And you brought Viva with you, so Viva's kind of standing in your office while you're kind of like rummaging through your own things.
We're going to do a perception check to kind of expedite the process.
Yeah. What are you looking for, or what are you looking at?
I would be looking for anything that, like, in my office. Yeah. Like, do we have computers or what? Like, in the
you have crystal ball type like networks where they can be accessed via magic that would work like a computer. You have I don't think this is the town that has pneumatic tubes. No, that's a different town. This is the town. You said you would have a scrying ball of some sort that you can access information on.
Yeah, I've tried to do that.
All right, so you look into the scrying ball. It says identification.
Vortiga.
Bluff check.
This thing's fucking gifted. I want to touch it.
That's going to be a good bluff check. That's going to be an 18.
Yeah, that's good enough. It says, "Good afternoon, Vortiga. How may I assist you today?"
Show me the booze.
What's the alarm?
It says,
Joey?
systems indicate alarm sounding because imminent threat of power ascension. Imminent threat of power ascension.
Oh, that sounds tight. Let's go.
Can I view it? Is there any further data to that? Like, can I view the document or anything?
Yeah. A scroll prints out or just appears magically on your desk.
What the fuck?
Alright, I read the scroll.
All right. Scroll indicates several individuals marked with certain code names that you can't read that have been like blacked out. So a lot of this document's been redacted. So you have a document in your hand that's very hard to read, with all the names are crossed out, a lot of the information's crossed out. But it basically lists a list of 9 individuals. The strange thing you'll notice is that there are 9 individuals listed, and then after that there's an addendum that has other names added to it. You will notice that on that second list, on the addendum list, the names are also crossed out, but when you're reading through the scroll, some of the events sound like events that happened to you. So one of the names crossed out, you were led, or not you, well, 2 actually, yes. On the first list, there are things that sound like they happened to Ramses. On the second list, there are things that sound like they happened to Vortiga.
Okay.
So when you read it, you get both a feeling of familiarity on both top and bottom rows of lists of names from both sides of yourself for different reasons. But all the names are redacted. A lot of the details about the events are redacted. And then the urgent part at the bottom of the scroll, which is what's marking the alarm right now, has one of the names. The name is blacked out. And it says Mythic Ascension gained. And then after that it says Mythic Ascension repeated. Urgent.
Somebody done leveled up.
Yeah.
So there's underneath the note there's an urgent to find notice that this name that's been redacted that you don't have the clearance to see is now on some sort of urgent list to be found by the HBI. So they're probably agents higher grade than you, higher up than you, that are out there now searching for this individual because it's very important to their cause.
I'm fucked.
Yeah, more power, more problems.
Yeah, that's the game. That's the game.
More experience, more problems.
Yeah. The stronger you get, the crazier shit have to throw at you to fucking make the game interesting. So.
Okay, well, so that's all all the indication of alarm is? I mean,
Yeah, it's just that they're indicating that someone is just now gained some sort of new power, that they're
Okay.
even the HBI is a very powerful organization. They seem worried.
So the whole document's just about, it's got only 2 lists in the addendum.
Yes, and it seems like all the names on the list are to be sought out by the HBI. Like the HBI is trying to recruit all these people, but this name just became more urgent.
Okay.
Like all these people are important to the HBI, due to an order by Cranagris. So Cranagris has the HBI seeking out all of these individuals. You don't have clearance to see any of the names, unfortunately, but you know that there are 9 people plus more, because the addendum has more people. But there are 9 original people being sought out, and then some people that have been added on that are persons of interest. And there are probably 4 or 5 of them.
Alright. I think that's all we can do is just assess that information and then move on. So
Alright.
I'll take Viva, Caligula, and myself, and we'll go outside. We'll leave the office and get Morgan and go look for the deck of many things.
Alright, man, you're the boss. Let's go.
Alright, so you gather your new intern and your old friend Morgan in her new body,
Yes.
and say, hey, you guys want to go gamble before we go do this mission?
Gambling? I love shit like that. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, Morgan's just kind of following you. So.
There you go. So yes, Morgan says robotically, yes.
Is
Morgan's-
Morgan still in the fucked up thing with the...
She's in the soul. She's in that body in the soul shore, but I think Morgan's relinquishing control to whoever wants to take control of Morgan right now. So pretty much,
Okay.
Morgan's just now following orders. There's no more wild and crazy Morgan.
Yeah.
Morgan's tweaked. Morgan just does what she's told now.
Could you explain to Joey what he's seeing with Morgan? Because he's...
Okay, so Morgan has like a bell jar type head, like the heads from Futurama, with an elf head inside, floating. It will look like some sort of alcoholic solution and like what's that, embalming fluid and stuff. And there's some gears. There's some gear work and some elven body parts connected to what looks like a glass torso that also has some gear works and some elven body parts on the inside, somehow working together, and a black egg in the middle, like floating where the heart would be. And then there's a elf arm on one side, a gear work arm on the other side that has a gun that can come out like RoboCop. It's a 6-shooter that only has 6 bullets right now until she buys more ammunition, so it's only got 6 shots in it. And then she has 1 robot leg and 1 elf leg. And she's wearing just plain clothes and carrying very little. But she's like a head in a glass jar.
So if I were to push you over, I could kill you right now.
It seems like pretty strong tempered glass, so you doubt like just a normal push would do it, but the normal thing that would break someone's bones would probably break her glass. So if you pushed her off a cliff, or shot her with a gun, or smashed her with a club, you might be able to break the glass enough for her to leak fluid, which would not kill her instantly, but would lead to her eventual decay and death. There would be nothing. That's what's keeping the body parts inside alive.
Duly noted.
So that's what makes her she's not undead. She's a living being that just has undead parts that are being kept alive by this
You're
mechanism.
like the $600 man.
Yeah. Fucking RoboCop.
Literal $600 because of the bad parts that she eventually got.
Yeah.
I feel like they're like, nope.
Yeah, some leftover bits.
Just 600.
Well, they had a bunch of dead bodies, so, you know.
Yeah.
Let's
They're
use
like,
whatever
oh,
parts
we
they
just
can
got
get.
them more.
Alright, let's go spend some money.
Yeah, let's perception roll in the bar and gambling district in Nevercrux to try and see if we can find the tent with the little old lady with the deck of many things. So, Morgan, can you do perception stuff?
I got 11.
Yeah. I got a
16 for Morgan.
All right.
a 17 for Ramses.
All right. Well, you guys look around for a while, and it kind of dawns on you, Vortigo, that you've never tried to gamble here in town. You've always either been like busy working or off on a mission. And now that you think about it, you can't think of where you would gamble here. There is a tavern, Bernie's Tavern, but you don't think you've ever seen anyone gambling there. You know you can gamble at the arena, but that's just gambling on fights, not any kind of card gambling or anything. And And they have an inn. There's an inn in town, but you wouldn't know if they would gambling there or not.
Oh no. Just stayed in Cranagris. Well, we couldn't get into that chick's fucking lair in Cranagris. Can I ask around to see if there's any dens of gambling real quick?
Yeah, you can roll a knowledge local.
Sure. That's going to be a 19.
Alright, so here's what you find out. It turns out there's no gambling sort of arena or hall here. Because gambling is so encouraged in this town, they've never had to hide it or create some sort of den of iniquity to place it, so that people just kind of gamble on the streets openly all the time, everywhere. But they mostly only play a few games, especially a game called Devil's Dice or Gatekeeper. But not much else. You don't see anyone playing any kind of card games out on the street. But now this guy points it out, you do see people like huddled in corners, like rolling dice and making quick dice games before like heading off to important law meetings or court cases or whatever.
So, clickety clack. So the lady's not here. Then you're saying that?
You can roll a percentage chance.
Yes.
Okay. Roll it.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. 67.
No, you can't seem to find her. No lady.
Great first day, boss. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah, you guys are just walking around trying to find a place to gamble. You're boring your intern and your new follower.
Well, let's get to Southport then, I guess.
Alright, so you take them to the teleportation chamber.
Yeah.
Alright, you alert Jagger that you're ready to leave. He gets one of the HBI wizards. You guys
Well,
stand...
actually, I need to write a letter for Tom first, Ost.
Alright, you can write a letter and like pin it to his chest while he sleeps on these benches?
Yeah.
In the
they
reception
said
area?
we need 4 people, didn't they, at the beginning?
No, they said there's space for 4 people. It's the ring now holds. They only had a small ring before, but they've been able to enlarge it magically, and now it can hold 4 people. You don't have to take 4, but it can hold up to 4. No more. No more than 4. You can bring his body and tell he'll. That's Jagger would say if you want to bring the orc with you, you can teleport his body, but
I'm not carrying
you're responsible for carrying him around. That's
Drag
how.
his ass around.
If you leave him here. If you leave him here in the reception area, he promises the secretary will keep an eye on him and give him a note, or alert him until you're where you went.
Where's the teleportation drop us?
It drops you in that same place in Westport it dropped you off before, in that Drow Hall in Westport.
Alright, yeah, I think...
In the castle.
Because, it's just the dark underground, and it would be fine for Tom.
Yeah, he's fine there.
How many do you have?
I think, we'll take him with us.
Alright, you drag Oss body with you to the teleportation panel. All 4 of you stand on. The wizard says, "Oh, are you guys excited?"
Yeah!
Says, "Oh, this is our first time trying to teleport more than one person at a time. Hopefully it goes okay."
Oh, great.
Large-scale experiments in teleportation. What could possibly go wrong? Well, next time, a long-distance Dungeons & Dragons dinner theater.